Hey guys, happy holidays. I'm Mystic Fairy King. Today we are going to be doing a review on the album The Fame, which is the first ever album of one of my favorite pop artists out there, Lady Gaga. So the way how I'm gonna do my review is it's gonna be like I'm gonna go through the list of the song of the tracks, kind of like how I felt and kind of like how I interpret it through how it sounds to me, along with some of the facts of the tracks. Let me just say that this album in itself is the one that put Lady Gaga's name into the spotlight, thanks to her persona, with her killer live performances and eccentricness that just kind of puts her in her own little category. Even in that time era in 2008 when this album came out. We're gonna start off with Just Dance. To this day, just about everybody in America probably knows that song. It's an unforgettable dance beat. The lyrics, when the song is playing, it just kind of gives you that feeling of just wanting to let go and just kind of be yourself and not really worry about what's going on around you and just having a good time. Our next track is Love Game. I personally like Love Game, and for many years, I will be honest, but for many years, I honestly did not realize that Lady Gaga had added in some sexual innuendo. The next song is Love Game, which gives you that sex appeal. Definitely talking about romance. Then there's Paparazzi. Now, Paparazzi, to me, it definitely screams out to me as a song where she's basically making a statement saying that she's ready. She's ready to be in the spotlight. She is ready for all those cameras and the flashing lights and just everything that it means to just be all encompassed in the papers and articles. Like, she's ready. And I personally like the song. But now we're gonna move on to Poker Face. It showcases Lady Gaga's clever as a songwriter, because when she's going pop poker face, pop poker, like, I honestly thought that's what she was just plain saying, like pop poker face, pop poker face. No, in fact, she was saying pop poker face, pop fuck her face. I did not realize that for many years, but thank goodness we have apps nowadays like Shazam, because a lot of times, when I was listening to this, I was honestly Shazamming all the lyrics, so that way I could actually fully encompass everything. And that's how I found out. I personally thought it was amazing and a little bit of shock value for me, because kind of like one of those like risque songs, because you honestly hear it on the radio every now and again, and it just really shows how risque she could get with her lyric writing. But now we're going to move on to AA, which is another turn for her that basically just, that to me sounds like when a person when they're in that kind of like in between of like relationships where it's like, oh, there's really nothing else I can say, and they're just, they're ready to move on to the next person. And I personally really like this song as well, because I don't know, it kind of connects in a way that I'm not really sure what it is. We're gonna go to Beautiful Dirty Rich. After re-listening to the lyrics again over and over again, not only is it great, a great track, great lyrics, but it also has a great message where even though Lady Gaga is, now that she's famous and making millions, personally explains in the song that, hey, the glamorous life of fame is great, but I can do, like she says, it's like she likes the finer things in life, but she can do without it. Now we're going to move on to the fame. Every time I listen to this song, I personally really get into it, because it, I don't know, really just kind of gets me all in my all in my moment. It kind of gives me a little taste of what it's kind of like to be famous. But now we're gonna move on to Money Honey. Money Honey is another one of those songs, kind of like Beautiful Dirty Rich, where she kind of talks about the glamour of being famous, but she's also adding the romance. In Money Honey, she's talking about liking expensive things, but she's also trying to convey her desire for love as well. Now, Starstruck, which is the number 9 on the list. Starstruck is kind of like dance hall lingo, kind of like in tantras. You can definitely tell from the vibe of the music. Like, not only is it a very like conveying kind of like a lust for this DJ that she is referring to, and this one, once again, it shows her expertise in lyric writing. So now we're gonna move on to Boys, 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 which after I did a little bit of reference research, I honestly did not realize that Lady Gaga's own version of Motley Crue's song "Girls, Girls, Girls." I mean, which I thought was really cool, even though I've never listened to "Girls, Girls, Girls" before. A part of me, it just thought that was just really cool, and it's a really good song. To be honest, I really like it. But now we're gonna move on to her song "Paper Gangsta," which it talks about Lady Gaga's former contract that she had. Now we're gonna move on to "Paper Gangsta," which, after I did some looking into it, it's a song about her own personal experiences with with people who honestly wanted to try and like basically take the talent that she had, and with her, because she has vocal talent, what this with these people that she dealt with before she signed on to Interscope Records, they wanted to drown her vocals with auto-tune, which when she basically said no, just fuck that, I want to feature my own voice. And in the lyrics of the song, she talks about she don't want no paper gangsta, won't sign away my life to someone who's got the flavor but don't have no follow through. I like that, that shows her not only her who she is as an artist, but personally saying and conveying that, hey, I'm not gonna I don't want to change my style of music just for the sake of making music. We're gonna move on. Brown Eyes. Brown Eyes is definitely kind of like a turn in the album, because how it feels to look back on a previous relationship and just kind of have that feeling of like how you just kind of like you're just feeling sad about it, which is why she talks about getting lost in 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 their brown eyes, which it shows a lot of emotion, and it's a very enjoyable track. And I hope if you guys listen to it, listen to the album, I hope you appreciate. Really hope you appreciate it as much as I do. We're gonna move on to I Like It Rough. Now, what I didn't like, I personally thought it was, when I first listened to it, I thought it was just a really cool sounding, pop song. But what I didn't realize until years later, when I listened to it again, multiple times and looked at the lyrics, that it really kind of gets down of a really serious subject of having dealing with somebody that has an addiction to an addiction to the worst kind of people for you. But this track really, after listening to it again, really kind of hits home a little bit more. I can definitely see myself as from in the past, but now we're gonna move on. Summer Boy. When I first listened to it, I really liked the sound of Summer Boy. I now understand that and feel that the song conveys to me the feeling of somebody who's in a relationship, but they know that relationship is not going to last. Because in the song there she talks about dating somebody in the summertime, which kind of like a, to me, I feel like it's kind of like a way of saying, like, not literally just like not a literal sense of like dating them only in the summer, but in a sense of them, of her conveying that, hey, it's like, we're in a relationship, but I know for a fact that it's not going to last. But we still have this, like in her lyrics she says, but we still have the summer. Or we still have the summer now is the actual lyrics. And I really like the song because it's definitely, now we're going to finish off with Disco Heaven. Now, Disco Heaven is, what I didn't realize was that Disco Heaven was actually a bonus track on the disc itself. If you had bought the deluxe version when it came out in August 19th of 2008, really I really liked the song, because not only does it kind of finish off the album with another song that is, great dance mix, but also pays homage to her days in New York, when, before she became really famous, but when she was in this little like DJ burlesque show that she was in a duet show with. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I personally recommend to you guys that you please seriously take into consideration to re-listening to the Fame album again. And even if you haven't listened to it in years, I recommend it. I mean, and that's all I really have to say, is that it really kind of gives you a new perspective on the album as a whole itself, because I know it did for me. It just goes to show you how much talent she had to show in this debut album. I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video, even though this is my first ever video, and pretty nervous myself, and I kind of tend to ramble a little bit, but I seriously hope that you smash that like button, or leave a comment down below. Tell me how I did. Tell me what you liked about it. And I hope you guys have a wonderful holiday season, and Happy New Year, and I will see you guys later.